paint. And if you don't want to buy the friction tape, you can use my gusset method. You know, just use the 1-inch gussets that are scored at 1/2 inch. But I like keeping things simple and fast. We'll see how it holds up. This is going to be a highly utilized item. Oh, I have moved. There we go. Okay, I just dropped that on my floor. And everything's stuck to it. That's nice. Okay, so there's the inside. Let's go ahead and put our number 1 this is going to stick out either side about 1/16 of an inch, and you still need a chipboard, which is about 1/16 of an inch between the two. And then this one I'm going to pre-cut because I'm going to end up in a corner. I'm a little short right here. I'll get that when I go down the side. I'll do the same with this one. It travels on either side about 1/16 of an inch. Pre-cut here. Now we are going to reinforce the inside with the same tape. I think this was like, oh, I got this at Lowe's and I think it was like $4. So probably not as cheap as, I do feel like I should not be cutting it with my good scissors. But probably not as cheap as using paper cut and folded and glued, but definitely faster. So I guess it depends on your time frame and your budget as to and this particular the project that I'm working on, that I'm making this box for, is my one of my miniatures, so that's gonna be a fun video. I have a separate channel, it's called Fantastic Miniatures, and I'll link it below, but there's no content on it yet. But if you like watching those kinds of things, I'll be doing some original scratch builds, and I'll be doing some model kits and stuff, so it'll be fun. Okay, so now we got that. I have a little bit right here that I looks like I have a fold here, so just run your fingernail or your bone folder in the recess, and that'll stick the tape together so it doesn't bunch up. And then Let's go ahead and do the corners. They're only 1.5 inches, so into the outside first. Okay. And I'll just snip off the excess. Let's do the inside before I do snip off the excess. We'll get them both at the same time. If you measured 1.5 inches, you wouldn't have to snip off the excess. You could also try to do this with like washi tape. Depends on what you're using it for. I'm gonna have to set this up here. Washi tape is not as strong, obviously. Okay, I'm just going to use my bone folder to get that in the corner. And smooth that out. I think I found this friction tape in the electrical department, but if you look online, it's by 3M. That's really all I know about it. I'm always looking for new things to make my life easier. Okay. And I think you'd also be able to use this for, let's see how this holds up, but I mean, if this holds up good, if it sticks good, if there's no issues, then this would be great for the putting your mini album covers together, because it's cloth. It has fibers in it, so it shouldn't tear. And it's easy to work with. And if I had black chipboard, which I do have black chipboard, but it's thinner, I wouldn't even have to worry about the sides here. As it is now, I'm just going to color it in with a permanent marker, like I do. Okay. This is the corner that was missing a piece, and it's going to be covered up where I cut that short. Okay, here we go. That's not straight at all. And you could just dress this up however you want. You can be as fancy with this as you want. I'm going to make mine pretty simple, because for me it's going to be a tool. And I don't need much. Okay. So remember, I wanted one spot that was 6 by 6. So this is my, I'm going to put this about at the 2 mark. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and run a piece of tape. Ugh. Kind of hard to get off. All the way down the length of this. Overhanging about half of the tape. There we go. And I'm just gonna eyeball, use my tray, or my, yep, that's crooked. Use my grid there. Okay. There's one divider in. And we'll pull that. Two dividers, or one divider, 2 sides. Okay. And then on the sides you can always just glue them instead of putting the tape on it. It doesn't matter. It's a small enough piece of tape, I'll just stick it on there. Oops. Not stick it on there the right way. It's easier if you hold it up to get in the corners here. Yeah, so the next time you go to the hardware store, which I go probably every couple weeks for something, just pick up some friction tape just to see if you like it. A couple more pieces here, here. And then we'll put in my, yeah, this is kind of straight, it's okay. This was 1 inch. So I'm going to take and cut, I'm not going to measure it because I think I messed that up, but we want about 6 inches. I'm going to mark where that's going to be here. I got pretty close. See, it's a little more. There we go. Let's test fit. That's good. Cut it 1 inch. Okay, so this piece is going to go here. And then probably about right there. And then we'll put another piece here, the same, hopefully it's the same width, 1 inch. And then we'll make oops. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this at 3 inches, 3 by 1. So we'll just cut this in half. Okay, so it'll be kind of like that. And then if you wanted to divide these into smaller parts, you could. We're done with our chipboard cutter. The designated chipboard cutter. And yeah, let's just start putting these in. I have a puppy in the room, guys. What are you doing, babies? Okay, and then we're going to space this one with the smaller one. Just make sure that we get it the right width apart. And this should fit right here because that's the way we measured it, right? Okay. So go. And you can make this any size you want. Turn this around so I can see. There we go. 2 more spots to fill. That one fits there, and the smaller one fits there. Are you comfy, Nova? Nova! Nova, quit. Nova, stop it. Nova, stop. It's not gonna get any fluffier. Nova, no. Nova, stop. want that. Let's leave that one big. Put that aside. Okay, now we just trim up all these sides that are kind of messy. And then you can take black acrylic paint, or I have a giant marker somewhere. Big black marker. Oh, here's a medium-sized marker. Sharpie. And I still gotta put, yeah. And then you just go over the edges and like a couple of swipes down the side here with your black marker. Again, if you had black chipboard, you wouldn't have to do this. Or you can use acrylic paint, whatever you want to use to just make it all one color. So you do that on everything inside and outside. If you were using a craft color, then you wouldn't have to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and gusset these in and do that to the rest of the tray. Okay, to decorate my box, now that it's done, remember I just finished up these couple corners that I had, and then I just took a black permanent marker and went over all the edges. Got some tape sticking out here. I'm trying to trim down. And if I forget to tell you, before you add any frilly stuff, lace or trim or anything, depending on what you're doing with this project, you may want to Mod Podge it or put some kind of finish on it. So I'm going to use the Flutter collection. The Flutter collection from Graphic 45 wasn't one of my favorite collections. I know a lot of people really liked it because it had a whole new color scheme, but I do like the colors. It's just some of the bugs kind of weirded me out, like the ants. I just can't. So I'm going to use my least favorite paper on the very bottom to cover the back here. And I'm just going to double check the measurements because you know, depending on how you cut stuff and how you glue it together, you may see this is almost an 8 1/8, or 8 1/16. This is only at 8 inches down. I guess it's 8 1/16. So we're gonna cut the bottom piece at 8, and we're gonna leave it at 12. Just cut the branding strip off. And I like it that I cut the 12 inches from the graphic 45 paper and it still left like a 1/16 of an inch of color, so I didn't have to fight with that little 1/16 of an inch there. Okay. And just try to fit that, make sure that's not going to leave too much of a overhang or anything like that. And we're good. You could use this side too, but I want it dark. So now for the bottom part, you want to make sure you get your adhesive all the way to the corners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ATG the inside, and then I'm going to put some wet glue right around the outside. And this wet glue is almost gone, so I just wanted to use it. You can use any wet glue that you have. Okay. The reason why I do this is, one, because I like all my project stuff like in one place, and number 2, I like moving stuff. So another thing that this would be good for would be I'm just gonna go along the edge here of this. Should probably wait until the you could do this beforehand, it would be easier. It's just that that stark white against that black is really stark. Contrast. I won't do this to the rest of them, just the bottom. I'm sorry if you hear chewing in the back. Puppy's got a bone, and I am happy that Puppy has a bone. So, okay, let's do the sides. Let's put this aside. How about like this border strip? Let's see. There's a 12-inch border strip. It's a little short this way, so maybe not. And this would be good too for like I have a lot the same size. You can tell what I did. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh, for gardening, if you, depending on what kind of paper you use. Let's see. I'll have to cut a new 12-inch strip. And I don't have any another 12 inches. How about, do I want to go? Yeah, I like this pink. So let's get my ruler right. Should be up 2 inches by 12, so just cut off 2 inches. Don't cut the 12-inch side down, and be sure that your paper is in the right orientation. I didn't use 2 inches. I used it in, did I use 2 inches? Yeah. What in the world did I just measure? That was 1.5 inches. Alright. Cut that piece that you just cut to 2 inches down to 1.5 inches. There we go. Okay, that should be better. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to do that twice, one for each side. Inch and a half, and then we got 8 by inch and a half, so we're going to cut 2 more inch and a half strips and then cut them down to 8, so all the outside will be the same color. You could, the blue is nice too, you can use the blue if you want. Almost cut it at 2 inches again. 8. Okay, here we go. Alright, now these, I got fuzz in there. These I'm not going to use the glue on, they're just going to, I'm just going to do ATG on these. Because they're on the sides, I'm not going to batter them, I guess. And I will link to Crystal's shop all the Graphic 45 papers. She has the best prices, I think, that I've ever seen on Graphic 45. And Graphic 45 is my favorite, so no. Here. Because I'm not sure if the Flutter collection will be available when you guys watch this. Looks like it's going to rain in my entire plan today because it's still fairly early in the morning. My entire plan today was to work outside, and yeah, I think I failed to check. Oh, I almost put it on upside down. Check the weather. I may be doing a lot more crafting than I intentionally planned. Okay, here we go. Alright. There's that. Now we have the bottoms and the sides on the inside to get done here. Let's see. Let's do the big one first because I like using my scraps. It is 6 by, let's cut it at 6 by 6. We may have to adjust a little. From the project that I did, I have this available, and I really like, let's use that one. I really like the dark. Looks like it's a little tight. I'm going to cut an 1/8 inch off each side. Which makes sense, even if I measured it and got 6 by 6, you still wouldn't be able to put a 6 by 6 piece of paper in there. That's 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. I'm going to cut a 1/16 off of the one side there. There we go. That's better. Alright. I'm going to try and use patterns that don't have a whole lot going on because I don't want to lose my my pieces. Like, I don't want it to compete too much. I just don't want it to be so busy that you can't find your stuff in there. It depends on what you're looking for. These would also be great drawer organizers. Okay, so I have this little piece. Oh, it fits like perfect this way. So let's cut it down to, let's do 2 5/8. Again, we're using the pretty simple pattern. We just need like an 1/8 inch off the height there. So that my stuff doesn't get lost in it. And the other thing that we can do is we can make more than one of these and make it stackable. That's pretty simple. Okay, I do have, if I turn it this way, I don't get a full bug, so let's do it that way. That one's gonna measure about 1 3/4. We'll cut it at, we'll leave it at 12 and cut it at 1 3/4. And if we need to trim some off, we can. Nope, I think that'll work. We'll get it out of there. Out of tape. I gotta back up. That is a dot adhesive. I don't want to use that. That's a dot adhesive. They're all dot adhesives. Alright, well, let's use one of them. Permanent dots, repositional dots, permanent dots. Alright, whatever. Back up, tape runner, dot runner. I have, I've got to use these things. I have them left over from, I mean, how long have I had my ATG? And then sometimes I just bought them just in case. Alright, 2 more sections and then we'll do the walls. This section measures approximately 3 inches by 2 7/8. So let's do, let's see here. Let's do, I have yellow, green. How about a pink? Let's do the honeycomb pink. So the 2 7/8, let's cut to 2 3/4. And then I'll cut it at 3. We'll probably have to trim it down a little. Oh yeah, I'll have to trim it down a lot. I think probably, let's do 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. That one's not fitting very well. Let's cut off just like a 1/16 of an inch off of this one. See how fast this goes. Let's do, my tape guns out. Let's do one on the honeycomb and one on the pink side. And I don't think that one was in there. Alright, there it is. We got to do the sides yet. So remember, these sides are 1.5 inches now. Because they're on the inside, I'm going to cut them a little shorter than that. And I have this cut already at 12 inches. I wonder if this will fit now. Yeah, I like this on there. I mean, it's a little small, but I like it. And back to old school tape runners. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that it's upright. There we go. I like that. Which means that I've unofficially marked like this as the front. And again, I'm just going along the outside here because of the white paper. The core of that paper that was on the side. So you don't have to do that. It's just personal preference. And then that's going to be my only long piece of paper. Let's do... So for the rest of it, I'm going to get my smaller scraps out. That's these here. And start piecing away at it. So it doesn't use much paper. That's too short. I do like the green with the green. So this column's 1 inch by about 3. So I'm going to cut this a bit under 1 inch and 3 inches. And yeah, it's about, I'm going to cut about 1/4 inch off that. And these are pretty much all scraps that I'm using here. Of course, if you have to cut into full sheets, that's fine. And I have just a plain green here. Still too short for that. I'm going to cut it at 2 3/4 and a little under 1 inch. Oh, you know what? It should have been longer because, yep, I forgot. Let's see if we can go ahead and kind of make this one piece here. Let's see if that's a possibility. So 1.5 inches, we're going to take 1/8 off. Okay. And then I'm going to mark with my pen where these two, whoops, if you can see where these two dividers are. And then I know they're 1 inch up, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my, you can use an X-Acto knife, scissors, whatever you have, and on the marks that you made, cut a little over 1 inch up and about 1/16. Now remember, probably a little over, like 1/8. Now remember that you have it covered like in black, so you don't have to be exact. I mean, mine's definitely not exact. So we're going to slip it in there. And yeah, it looks good. I like that better than piecing it, so let's go ahead and do that. So super simple. You just mark it. And just cut you out a notch. And as long as you have just ran this one out too. This one's refillable, so I have to make sure I don't have any refills on it. Is this the permanent? Yeah. Oh, I remember why I don't use this, because it sucks. Okay, so we'll do that on this side, and then we'll do it on that back side too. And just dry fit it to make sure that it worked before you put your adhesive on it. That looks much better than piecing it all together, I think. Is a little crooked. Again, I'm just going to take my black permanent marker and go along that edge of the paper so you can't see the core. Okay. Oh, we got to do this side and this side and this side like that. Well, no, not these sides, because these sides go all the way up. These two sides are the only ones that go like partial. I don't know if I have. We need a 1.5 inch piece here, and I don't have an 8-inch scrap that's that big. So let's do this blue. Start at 1.5 inches. And we'll start with 8, maybe a little long. Okay, and then again, I'll show you how to do this. You just mark here, right where that thing is. And you know, it's about 1 inch by 1/16, so you take about 1.25 inches by about 1/8. And there you have it. I'm going to take a little bit off of this side and then a little bit off the top because it's a bit long. I didn't know that until I cut that notch out, right? Because I couldn't put it down in there and fit it. Let's see it now. There you go. That works good. I think I'm a little crooked. I'm going to cut this corner off because I'm a little crooked in my... And you can, I could have used either side of this, but now I'm stuck on this one. Okay. There we go. That's how you make a perfect fit for that. These sides are going to be super easy. This is the only side left. Let's go ahead and use this blue because it's the only one that I have that's big enough. I'm going to cut a little under 1.5 inches this time since I know. And then a little under 8 inches also. Do the same thing with this one. You mark right where your things are, whatever you want to call those, drawers. A little more than halfway up, probably like 2/3 of the way up. About 1/8 of an inch. So don't take off too much. You can always take off more, right? Okay, here we go. This one, I need to take a little bit more off that one. Yeah, having said that, you can, I mean, it's, all you have to do is color the background black and you can't really tell. And I'm going to take a little bit off of this side here It's a little too long, and since there's lines on this paper, I'm just going to cut on the line. Alright, there we go. I'm go with my adhesive. There we go. Okay, the rest is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to stick with this color scheme. These two are going to be green, these two are going to be black, and these are going to be pink. And I have several different papers here. The black, I may have to cut. I still have some of this, so I think I'll just use this black. Oh, but I have this too. That is the right size for that, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it. This is the strip that was... Oh, Oh, well, okay, so this one's going to be black on one side instead of... I put the adhesive on the wrong side, but that's okay. So now it's just black on that side too. I need 6-inch pieces for this, and I don't have 6-inch scraps, so I'm going to have to cut into a new. Yeah, no 6-inch scraps, but I do have the pink, scraps of the pink. Let's use these. I'm going to do 2 7/8 by 7/8 of an inch and see if it works. I'm going to have to go 2 3/4. Yeah, that's about right. 2 3/4 by 7/8 there. And then let's try the 2 7/8 again on that other side, just because. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. I pre-cut all the rest of the strips here and refilled my ATG gun. And on the black, I decided to use this border strip. On both sides. Which is fun. It kind of goes around the corner. And then I decided that on the green I was going to use this pattern, which is on the back of the pink 12 by 12. And it's not all green, but on the sides actually with the flowers it's mostly pink. Okay, so and then on these sides we're going to use I had a scrap of what's on the other side of the blue stripe. That's going to go here. Same with this side. This is the same pattern that's on the outside. And then I'm going to use the honeycomb here. And then I got the solid pink. And it looks like I'm a piece short. I'm gonna have to get my paper back out and get that piece. How I did that. Let's see here. I still have some of that, so we'll just cut another piece. I think that's 2 3/4. Yep, 2 3/4 by like 7/8. Alright, and that's it. You could put one of the chipboard pieces on here. You could put lace, layered flat back pearls and stuff. I want mine to be fairly simple because I'm going to use it for my miniatures. So this is my thinking is like, here is my big part. Looks like these won't fit here. Not the way they are anyways. These are walls. They can go in there. These are the outside pieces and the roof. They all fit. I have to sand that off. Okay. I'm talking about my next project, not this one. So it looks like my house is a little bit taller than 6. So I actually push it out a little bit. And then this here's a roof piece. Walls and roof can go there. I think this is a roof piece. And then I can put some here. I just kind of have them all sitting in piles on my desk, but when I want to do something else, I have to move them. These ones I have labeled. And then I have some smaller pieces. I can even put my X-Acto knife in there that I've been using to keep everything where it needs to be. And then I have some scrap pieces. This one. And what I may do is go ahead and make another one for, like, one for my project and one for my scraps. But this is really pretty perfect because your scraps usually aren't very wide. They're usually just long, skinny pieces because you, just like with paper. And this is wood, but just like with paper, you use, you know, the bigger sizes first. So, all right, there we go. There's the project. I hope y'all like it. Head on over to Artistic Studio Creations to grab your chipboard and your Graphic 45 collection. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.